Hey guys, welcome back to Say Mojo Homestead. If you are new with us, welcome. I'm Jeremy. My wife, who you will meet later, is Cassandra. If you are returning, welcome back. We are so appreciative that you are back with us today. We are doing a lot of kind of baking in the kitchen this weekend. It's my mom's birthday. We're gonna go visit her, so I am making a German chocolate cake for her. But that's not really what this video is about. We are also making an apple pie, and by we, I mean Cass. And she is going to talk a little bit about that apple pie, why it's so nostalgic to us, and also give 4 tips on how to make the best apple pie. And we are not gonna be sharing that recipe because it is a family secret. So it's a kind of a big deal in that sense, but we can share some things that we do that really help to step your apple pie up to that next level. If you watched last week's video, then you saw that we went apple picking, so we've got a lot of apples to deal with. So I'm hoping that we will also have time to do applesauce this weekend. But right now, I'm gonna get started on this cake that I'm responsible for this weekend, and we will go from there. Okay, we need German sweet chocolate chips. I mean, the bars. Sure we do. So Joe, you go get chocolate. Oh, you go get half a cup of water. It's over there. And then we need 1 cup butter softened, which we made our butter. 4 large eggs. Mo, can you wash 4 large eggs for us?
Yeah. Use the chocolate.
Thank you. Can you go get the vanilla that's over there also? It's in a box behind my... Joe, can you get the salt? I think it's over there by Mo somewhere.
No, it's up there.
Oh, okay. And then Mo, can you bring the milk over that's on the counter? The buttermilk? Thank you. Did you wash it?
Yeah.
Now it's time to get started making this apple pie. My first tip for you is to use a variety of apples. I grew up with my grandfather making apple pie, and he always made it with Granny Smith. We had Granny Smith growing on our property, so it was easy. That is nostalgic for me. Apple pie is one of those things that always reminds me of him because he always made them. But I personally really like the flavor of having a variety of apples. It adds more complexity. You have that sweetness, that tartness. So I use 4 tart apples and then 4 sweet apples. So now that we have our apples cut, our second tip is to let our apples sit in sugar. And I put a little lemon juice in, that way they don't turn, it acts as a preservative. And the sugar draws out the juices in your apples, so they can still be crisp. You don't have to cook them, but you can draw those juices out so your apple pie isn't as runny. So apple pie holds a very special place in my heart. I grew up with my grandparents, and my grandpa didn't do a lot in the kitchen. He would cook if we were camping or grilling out, but typically he just didn't cook. He was busy in the gardens and in the orchards and doing that kind of thing. He loved pie, and he loved making pie. And so we knew that when the apples were ready to harvest or when the cherries were ready to harvest, we would be getting a pie. For me, it just tastes like home. One year when I was in high school, I think it was my senior year of high school, he didn't have a recipe. My grandpa just kind of made his apple pie or his cherry pie as he always had, I'm sure as he had been taught. And so there wasn't like this formal recipe that he had. So one day in my senior year of high school, I wanted to get that recipe. I've always loved recipes. I've talked about, loving recipe books. Traditional recipes kind of speak to that sentimental side of me, I think. And we had all these recipes, a recipe book for my grandma's recipes, but we didn't have anything for this classic apple pie that was so much part of our family tradition. So I followed him around in the kitchen one day when he was making this apple pie, and I wrote down measurements or rough measurements of what he was doing. I don't even actually remember if he was using measuring spoons. I know he wasn't using measuring cups. I just did a rough estimate of what he was putting in. So now I'm so thankful that I did that, because we lost my grandfather when the year I got married, and it was actually in January of 2006. By that point, I was already settled in South Carolina. My family's from California. So had I not had that little inkling to follow him around and figure out how he made this apple pie for our family, that recipe would have been lost. So every time I make this apple pie, I'm so thankful for that day that I made the decision to hang out in the kitchen with my grandpa. Every time I make it, of course, I think about him and think about the smells and the sounds of him being in the kitchen and the anticipation of enjoying that pie with him. So now that we've let our apples kind of release all of their juices, I'm going to go ahead and put all the liquid in a pot and reduce it to half. That way we don't have really watery pie. So you may have noticed that I'm using this broken rolling pin. Again, everything goes back to nostalgia and family for me, and this was actually Jeremy's grandmother's. So we were gifted it, and shortly after we were gifted it, it lost its handle, but I refuse to not use it. I love it. It kind of adds to the antique effect. I don't know. I can't part with it, and I can't fix it. So I use it anyway. So we've rolled out the bottom crust, and the tip I have for you right now at this stage is to actually use butter and put a layer of butter on the bottom of your crust. This is actually going to be a layer of protection so that your crust doesn't get soggy and it can crisp up and be nice and cooked. So for our final pie tip, we recommend that you bake your pie on the bottom of your oven, so the very lowest it can go. This is going to ensure that that bottom crust gets nice and cooked.
So I hope you guys enjoyed getting to know Cass a little better about, her apple pie memories and stuff like that. Yeah. And also, I hope these tips helped you guys out. If you got any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And if you have any tips of your own, we'd love to hear that too. Yeah. We are by no means expert pie bakers or anything like that. These are just things that we've picked up along the way.
Yep.
Or that Cass has observed from watching her granddad. So
highs and lows?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so I'll go first.
Great. Gotta think of mine.
My high was on Friday. I went to work and we were able to pick out makeup for competition. And then Saturday we got to pick out costumes for competition. So it's always fun. I wasn't able to be there for the whole picking out experience, but it's always lots of fun as a dance mom and as just a performer.
And as a girl.
And woman. As a girl, to be able to play with makeup and pick out fun costumes. I mean, anyway, I liked it. That was fun. So.
Our low is the same. We're going to get to that. So I'm going to go ahead and do my high. My high, I think, was going to celebrate my mom this weekend.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday.
Her birthday is this coming week, and so we went this weekend down and just stayed the night with them, had dinner, had fun just spending time with them.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. It was probably my high. There were a lot of good things this week, but
Yeah.
That was probably, I would say, my
That was
high.
good. That was good
So.
to be home and not have to do farm chores and hang out with parents.
Yeah, get a little break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice.
So our low, we had a little unnerving experience this week in the neighborhood. Not going to go into any details, going to protect people that were involved in all of that, but I can say that it did involve the police and everything. We are fine. We are praying for everyone that was affected directly by it. So there was a little bit of a moment of uncertainty. We actually chose to leave our house just for safety's sake and all of that. So, and it was an unfortunate, very sad thing that did happen.
Yeah.
Don't want to go into too much details, again, out of respect for the family that it involved and stuff like that. But that was definitely our low. It just really put a damper on the week. Just for me, I mean, just out of heartache.
Yeah, for the
just-
family. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just a sad time. Thankfully, we've had the opportunity to kind of be community to some people in our neighborhood, and hopefully we will be able to be there to support the people that need to be supported, and we'll grow as in our relationships with each other. So.
Yeah, just trying to make the most of the situation.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. I think that's
Right.
important no matter what you do and where
Yeah.
you are in life or whatever. It's just being there to support each other, support your community,
Yeah.
which is, the people that are around you.
Yeah.
And so it has given us an opportunity to do that and probably grow those relationships even more.
Yeah.
Is what I'm kind of hoping.
Yeah.
So. Other than that, it really was a pretty good week for us. So we hope that your week was good as well.
Yeah.
So as always, guys, we really do appreciate you guys joining us along on this journey and just supporting us by coming on and watching these crazy videos or boring videos or hopefully fun videos. I don't know. But we do appreciate you guys joining along in this. So we hope you guys have a great week and be blessed.